it's Kelly, and I have a wintry layout for you today. So I have two photos there, and I'm using a scrap, and that is the Pebbles Winter Wonderland Frosty paper. So I'm using that to mat those two photos, and they're not quite 4x6, but there's something close to that. Then I have that box of snow paper that I'm going to mount that on. That is from Pebbles Winter Wonderland, and that is the Winter Walk paper. I like that because it looks like it's snowing there. And I just had that little card that cut apart there that says bundled up. That's from the Winter Wonderland collection, and that's the Snow Fun paper. So I love how this floral paper kind of combines, well, it doesn't kind of, it does combine all the colors that I'm using here. So I'm just playing around with it a little bit to try to decide how big I'm going to be and how I'm going to make that, but I need to do some embellishments. So that floral paper that I'm using is the Winter Wonderland collection, again from Pebbles, and it's the sparkle paper. And then I'm also mounting all of that on that chevron paper there, and that is the shiver paper. And all those Winter Wonderland, that Winter Wonderland collection is from 2015, so it's a few years old. I don't know how available that would be, but I'm still using it. I'm still loving it, and I'm still using it. Now I'm going to use a bunch of these white snowflakes to embellish my layout here, and those are from the from Hobby Lobby. They're from the Christmas crafts, and they're just called snowflakes. Those are from 2016 though, so you know that they weren't certainly ready available last year, although maybe they had something similar. But you know, if you've got a large snowflake, that'll work. And I like these because they're kind of thin, but they have some glitter on them as well. So now I'm kind of playing and looking to see what else I can use, and I have like just an envelope of winter papers and some embellishments. Not, you know, the snowflakes didn't come from there, but anything flat. And I have these die cuts from this punch out sheet, and it's old. I don't know how old it is. I think it might be from a Bo Bunny collection that is years and years old, but I don't know. But I often find use when I'm doing a winter layout like this. That blue in those in that collection is just really, really good. So I am going to add in a punch out from that sheet in every one of the clusters that I'm using. So I'm using that kind of dark blue up there, and then I'm using that kind of light blue there. And then I'm going to take that bundled up card, and I want that snowflake to touch it as well as that punched out piece that I use. It just kind of helps bring it together, not necessarily as a cluster, but kind of. And then I don't know what I ran off to do here, so I'll tell you a little bit about the story of these photos. A really good friend and I have committed to running 14 5K races in 14 months. So from Thanksgiving of 2017 through the end of 2018, we're going to run 14 5Ks. This one took place in January, so I live in the upper Midwest, so we're all bundled up. It was actually kind of nice. It was about 30-ish that day when we ran, in the low 30s, and sunny, so that's why I have sunglasses on. It was really, really nice to run this day. Oh, I think I know what I was doing. So that friend in those photos there was also at my house. We were scrapping together for the weekend, and I think she asked me a question, and I ran over there and forgot to cut it out. So that's what's going on there. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so this was our third 5K event. By the time you see this, I will have done February for sure, and maybe even March. I'm not sure about March, but February for sure I will have done. So what I'm doing is I'm documenting each individual run with photos of us, but then I will at some point when this is all done make a page with all 14 photos on it, because I think it'll be kind of fun. So I have those letter stickers. Oh, and I can tell you where those punch outs are from, I think. Or wait, actually, no, they're not. I was going to say, I think it's from the same place as these letter stickers, but they're not. So those letter stickers that I'm using right now are from Bo Bunny Midnight Frost, and they're the combo stickers. And you guys, I've had this sheet since 2010. That's 7 years of winters. So it's time to get these used up. I'm kind of trying to decide where I want to put that, and I really like that title down in the bottom. It takes up some really nice space there. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to connect it to the floral paper on the left and then the bundled up card on the right, so that I'm crossing as many layers as I can. And now I've just grabbed my, okay, now I can't remember the name of that tool. Oh my goodness, my tweezers to keep my hand, because otherwise my hand is in the way and I can't see the line to line everything up, because I'm not doing it on an existing line. And I didn't put those stickers down hard so that I could move them if I need to, which is what I'm doing here, is I'm moving them all a little bit up from where they were. And you can kind of see me lining them up there. You know, I wouldn't want to actually use my Thicker's Guide to do that. Anyway, and then I'll just nestle that K from the 5K up underneath the Y there. And this is the name of the race we ran. It was the Frosty 5K, because it was a little frosty, but not too bad. And then I decide that I want to put another little cluster there. So I'm going to use another one of those punch outs and then another one of those snowflakes. And then you won't see this at the end, but I'm going to add some small, one small snowflake in green, pink, and aqua to each of those clusters. So kind of look for that in the still shots. Those will be coming up at the end. So now I have to start getting these all down. All these being the snowflakes, but just in general getting everything down here. I just had put just a little bit of ATG on, so that way if I needed to move anything, I could do that. All right, and so I like how that Frosty 5, that F from Frosty 5K touches the snowflake paper, it touches that punch out, it touches the floral paper, and then it's also touching the cut apart, if I didn't say that. So it's crossing lots of different pieces of the layout, and that just kind of helps you bring everything together. Now I am kind of trying to figure out, I decided I wanted 3 different snowflakes, and I'm trying to figure out which 3 snowflakes to use here. So I'm playing around with these just a little bit. And probably a little bit more than I needed to, but you know, it is what it is. These do not have any adhesive on them, the snowflakes, so I'm going to actually have to use my fine line bottle to get them glued down, and I have my Scotch tacky glue in that bottle. I do use the smaller smaller hole in the bottle, but I just put a tiny bit of water in it. That was a tip I heard quite a while ago when I first started using this, and I don't ever have a problem with my glue clogging up the tip. So just so you know, if you are having a problem with that, just put just a tiny bit of water, and I do mean tiny, it's not a lot of water. All right, so I am just getting those positioned, and then I'm using that little tip just to get it down. And then I'm holding down the snowflake a little bit to make sure that it stays down. because if you don't let it set, it can just lift off the page. That's a little tip. And then I'll glue that right to the photo just because that snowflake's not, it's not staying down. And in the meantime, I'll have a little drink of seltzer. That's my drink of choice now. If you've watched me, you know that I'm, I'm running, but I'm also eating healthy, and I have totally given up soda or anything like that. My guilty pleasure is now flavored seltzer. And I feel great, so I guess that's really good. All right, so I'm just getting this third one down. And making sure I put that tip back in so that it doesn't clog up on me. All right, and getting all those edges down. So I love the way the colors of this really worked with the colors that we're wearing as well, and it still manages to feel frosty. So I did do just a little bit of journaling, and what I decided to do here, because there wasn't enough space to hold what I wanted to say on that bundled up card. So what I did is I just journaled around that top edge there like I'm doing here. And then I'm going to add the place, or kind of like the event that we ran at, not the name of the event, but like there was an overall event that was taking place, and then the date. So here is the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!